I have to tell you a little story about the bag we found at work the other day. Nothing ever happens at work, so this was kind of insane, relatively. So I'm at the front of the building working on some paperwork. Now it's near the end of the night, so we just have one guy manning the bag. This particular guy likes to read. So this guy's just peacefully sitting there, reading his book, waiting, and he looks up. And standing right in front of him at the door is this woman just staring him down in the dark of night, just standing there, staring. And he radios up to me and is like, Zoinks, man. A lady just came to the door, and she said there was a pretty suspicious-looking bag left in the north parking lot. Now, with me at the front end is another gentleman who is working with me named Joe. Joe is a very curious person, so he grabbed the radio and immediately asked, what's in the bag? The guy in the back, we'll call him Jack, just radioed back and said, like, I don't know, man. The lady just said it's a green camouflage fishing bag. I haven't looked inside. So Joe radioed back and said, okay, just stay put, we'll check it out. So Joe and I proceeded to walk out into the dimly lit parking lot at 9 p.m. on a freezing Thursday night, looking for a mysterious bag that definitely does not contain either A, a bomb, or B, kilograms of cocaine that I'm going to get, like, the mob is going to find out that I know about it. Anyway, so, yes, so we're walking out to the parking lot to look for the bag, and we see Jack is walking over, and we see it out there. Just in the distance, it's like a medium-sized green bag with several zipped pockets. And Jack got to the bag a bit before Joe and I did. So Joe walks up and says, did you check inside the bag? And Jack was just like, oh, nah, man. So Joe kneeled down and unzipped the first zipper. And, oh boy, this bag had some interesting stuff. I was not, he opens up the main pouch. And there's just a 12-pack, like 12 loose cans of beer. Just cans of beer, just loosely sitting inside this bag. Just, and a tube of chapstick. That's all that was in the main compartment, was 12 cans of Ice House beer and a roll of chapstick. There were a ton of side zippers, like side pockets. So we open up the first one, and inside is a lot of sketchy baggies. There's a lot of baggies and stuff. It was very weird. And inside the first baggie is like a bunch of like rewards cards for like different businesses, and there's a name on the back. And so we note down the name, and we keep looking, and we found another side zipper, and this one had the jackpot. There were 3 bottles of pills inside, and only one of them had like the prescription paper thingy, but the name on that bottle matched the name on the cards, so we know who we're looking for now. So, after thoroughly rummaging through this random person's bag, we decided to take it up to Lost and Found and leave it there in our building. Now, I go back to work, and I'm trying to do my normal thing, which is normal and boring. So, I'm just there wrapping stuff up for the night. And somebody calls back from the front end, and they're like, hey, can you come up here right away? And I was just like, okay. This is not a usual occurrence, by the way. So I run up to the front. I was like, man, this has to do with the bag. Because nothing else ever happens. So I'm like, this has to be. I know something's happening. So I run up front. And there's just this guy standing there staring. And I walk up. And then the front end guy is standing there too. And the guy that was up there was like a short, older guy. Never seen him before. And he's like, hey, is this the guy that found my bag? And before I could say anything, he stuck out his hand to shake my hand. And he's like, oh, man, thank you so much for finding my bag. Like, thank you, man, thank you. And he wouldn't stop shaking my hand. And, bro, he was, like, too excited to have his bag back. I was just like, yeah, shaking my head and nodding. And he's like, oh, man, thank you. And he's like, oh, man, I need to know your name. I was like, okay. So I just told him my first name. And ever since that moment, I've been waiting for somebody to assassinate me because I saw something I wasn't supposed to. The Bagman knows everything.